Hi everybody, Judy Tuttle here from Tuttle Up Stamping. I'm independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Midland, Texas, and I'm so glad to have you here with us today with me. I am going to show you some really fun cards that I designed using the Scenic Pumpkin stamp set that is an online exclusive. It's not in any catalog. We have a whole group of products, I don't know if you guys know this, that are in our online exclusive store. The only place you can find them is online, and the Scenic Pumpkin set is one of those that is in the online exclusive. So I hope that you will take a moment and go to my website, which is right there, and tuttleupshop.com, and type in online exclusives, and you'll be able to see everything that is not in a catalog that is only available online. And so I really wanted to show you this set because I haven't used it yet, and it's gorgeous, and I think you're going to love the cards that I have designed with it today. Before we get started, though, I always need to talk to you guys about things that are coming up with me in my business and also with Stampin' Up. Make sure you're informed. Now, the best way to be informed is to be a part of my email list. And so when this video is over, I'll put a link to my email list up in the description. All you have to do is click on it, type in your email, say you give me permission, and I'll send you updates every week and also reminders when deadlines are coming up for some of my events and classes. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to just pull up some things here that are important for you to know. The first one is Stampin' Up! Is having a join special right now. Now, the starter kit is always the best deal in the catalog, but right now they've added an additional $30 in product free. Your $99 starter kit purchase gets you $155 in product. Usually it's $125. And a whole bunch of catalogs and everything else you need just in case you want to start it as a business. Now, you do not have to. Most of my team are just happy little discount shoppers. They just wanted that 20% off discount, and so that's the reason why they have joined a team. And it's the smartest reason why to join a team, because getting 20% off, getting all my PDFs for free, getting early release products before everybody else, and all kinds of other fun things. So if you would like to be a part of my Stampin' Up community, I would love to have you part of my Tuttle Up stamping team. So reach out to me. I'd be happy to chat with you, or just go to tuttleupshop.com and click on the join, and that information will be there, and they just guide you through it. It really is very simple. It's no risk, you guys. If you do it to get the discount and then you decide you want to be done, happens every time. A squirrel comes to the window every time I'm doing a Facebook Live. So we'll try to get rid of that real quick. Okay, so the next thing that you should know is that Stampin' Up has 30% off all their kits right now. So I'm going to move over here and shut this curtain so Rory can't see out. It's going to make it a little darker, but that's okay. Okay, 30% off all of our kits right now. I'm going to show you a kit that I'm using for my bingo night, which is super fun, and I'm getting it right now while it's on sale, and passing those savings on to you. Okay, so many great kits in our store. Go to my Tuttle Up shop and click on kits, and you'll be able to see all of those as well. Okay, when you come on, let me know you're here. I'd love to know when you're here. Okay, so I just announced I'm having a bingo night, and this bingo night is special because you get a complete kit, and then we're using the stamps from that kit to make 5 additional cards. So you are getting 13 cards in this class, but the fun part of it is that we play bingo for big prizes. I give away gift certificates so that you can get anything you want when you win bingo. Bingo nights are so much fun. You can come via Zoom or you can come in person. You get 2 bingo cards. We play 6 games of bingo. Prizes ranging anywhere from $10 to $75. And it's always fun. And then I always do a biggest loser. So I put everybody in a pot who never won anything and draw a name out, and they get to have the hostess credits for bingo night. So that's super fun. Hi, Laura. Thanks for joining me. I'm glad that you're here. And I'm glad that you're safe in Florida and everything is okay there. I'm so glad. Okay, so here we go. Bingo nights are fun, you guys, and you can come from anywhere in the United States to be a part of that. I usually have an equal number in person and via Zoom. And the fun thing is that if you come in person, everybody will have their own stamp set because it comes with the kit. So you get this entire kit that comes, you can see I've used mine already, with a stamp set. And then this stamp set is what we're using to make 5 adorable extra cards. So it'll be fun. It'll be fun to do bingo with you. It'll be fun to make the extra cards, and then you still have the whole kit to create as well. So, which you will do on your own time. We'll make the 5 cards together, but you'll put the kit together on your own time. Does that sound great? So think about it. I'll put the link to bingo night up in the description after my video is over. Okay, I'm going to move all these things out of the way, except for the host code. This week's online class to go, you will want to use that host code that's right here at the bottom, 9XQKQFFA. And if you spend $35 or more this week in my online store, I will get you a kit to make 2 each of the 3 cards that I'm making today, and I think you're really going to enjoy them. I had fun making these and designing these cards, especially for all of us, okay? So I'm going to take all these things off my screen and so that you can see my hands fully here. All right, so here is the Scenic Pumpkin stamp set. There are no words in this, so I am bringing in the Simply Said stamp set to use as sentiments for my cards. And then I'm also using the Trucking Along. This is also an online exclusive that comes with this super cute pickup truck punch. It's been out for about a year now, I guess. So I will be using all 3 of these stamp sets on my cards today. And lots of ink colors. It's hard to do a scenic scene without lots of colors, right? So these are all the colors I'm using today. I'm using Pool Party, Crumb Cake, Garden Green, Crushed Curry, Pumpkin Pie, Early Espresso, Basic Gray, Lost Lagoon, Basic Beige, and Cajun Craze. Those are all the colors that I'm using today, okay? All right, so let's get started with, oops, I don't need that, so that's fine. I'm going to get started with what really is not only my favorite card, but also the easiest of all of them. So my favorite kind of pumpkins are the blue and white pumpkins. I just think they're elegant and pretty. And so we're going to make a card using the Scenic Pumpkins patch. And I'm doing blue pumpkins on this one. So we're starting out with an 8.5, 5.5 by 8.25. It's not 8.25, it's 8.5. I don't know why I keep doing that. 8.5, 5.5 by 8.5 piece of Lost Lagoon, and I've scored it at 4.25. Okay, and then I have a 4 by 5.25 piece of Lost Lagoon that I have embossed with the Birch Tree embossing folder. That's a super fun embossing folder, and I'm gonna add my adhesive here. Now, when I'm attaching an embossed piece to a piece of cardstock, okay, I just put in a new tape runner on that one, and it's not seeming to want to work for me right off the bat, so I'm going to just move on to my other one. Seal, regular seal is what I used there. I could have also used Seal Plus, and I am just putting that embossed piece right there on top of my Lost Lagoon card base. I'm going to straighten this out just a little bit here. Okay, there we go. Then I have a piece of Basic Beige. Now, Basic Beige is our new neutral that everybody is loving. And this piece is cut 1 3/4 by 3 3/4. So I'm just going to add some adhesive to the back side of that. And we're going to just attach it right here on the front of our card. Then I have a Nested Essentials label die. This is the largest of the banner type dies that are in the Nested Essentials die set. Hi, Jean. Thanks for coming from Ohio. I'm glad to have you here today. So this banner is this largest banner, and I've cut it out of basic white. And I'm going to start stamping on this, okay? So this is going to have, let me grab my foam mat here. This is going to have the fence going across it in crumb cake. So let me grab my crumb cake over here. Hi, Melinda from West Virginia. I'm glad you're here with me today. Thanks for joining us. Let me get a scratch sheet of paper here to put underneath this. There we go. Okay, and I'm going to start with the fence line. The fence line is one of the stamps that is in the Scenic Pumpkin Patch stamp set. I'm going to ink it up in crumb cake here. And I'm going to stamp it right there in the middle of that banner, okay? And then we have this very long kind of ground cover stamp. I don't know if you can see that. I'm going to ink that up in crumb cake as well, but I'm going to stamp it off once and then stamp it underneath that fence line just to ground my pumpkins a little bit there. Okay, and then from the stamp set that is called Simply Said, I grabbed this thanks right here. So I'm going to stamp thanks in, see if I can find it. I have so many little stamps over here, it's kind of crazy. I'm going to stamp that in Early Espresso. I'm going to stamp thanks right up here at the top of that banner. Then I'm going to pull in, I'm going to need this here in a second, so I'm going to go ahead and keep that out. I'm going to grab my Basic Beige and my Lost Lagoon ink pads. Do you guys love white and blue pumpkins? They're my favorite colors of all the pumpkins, the white ones and the blue ones. So I have a little scratch sheet of white right here, and I'm going to stamp a set of 3 pumpkins in the Lost Lagoon. There we go. And then I'm going to stamp, let me clean this off. I'm going to stamp this same set of pumpkins again in Basic Beige. Basic Beige is not quite white, but when you're stamping on white, you need a little contrast, right? Let me put my Lost Lagoon up. So I was just telling my husband this morning, we usually put a lot of pumpkins on our front porch, and I don't have them on there yet. So I need to go get some today so I can properly decorate my front porch with pumpkins. And I do all colors, yellow, orange, blue, white, but the blue and white. So this is the stems to the 3 pumpkin set. They have stems for the 3 pumpkin, they have stems for a larger row of pumpkins, and they have stems for a smaller row of pumpkins. So lots of stems going on in this stamp set. I just think they really thought through everything really well when they designed this, and there's just so many possibilities for it. There we go. So there are my 2 sets of pumpkins. Now I'm going to grab my paper shears here, my cutting shears, and I'm just going to fussy cut around these really quick. Now stop whining about having to fussy cut. I find it very therapeutic, but I do understand that some people just don't enjoy it, and some people just have a hard time with arthritis and things in their hands with fussy cutting. Unfortunately, this set does not have a die set that coordinates with it, and so you're kind of forced to have to do some fussy cutting. If you struggle with that, get a friend to help you with it. And okay, so there's my white pumpkins cut out right there, and then I'm going to cut out my blue pumpkins. I do too, Melinda. I find it very therapeutic. So I love fall. I don't love winter, but I love it more now that I live in the desert. But I lived in Lincoln, Nebraska for 33 years. We've only been in Midland for a little over a year and a half. And I don't miss winter time. I do miss the fall, though. I miss the changing of the leaves and the crisp air that comes in the fall. But honestly, in Nebraska, when fall came, I was kind of dreading that. That meant that winter was right around the corner, and I was not a winter person for sure. Okay, so here are my 2 sets of pumpkins, some white ones and some blue ones. So the white ones are going to go flat next to this fence over here on this side right here. And I put it right up to the edge of that banner, but not over it. It would be okay if it went over it. I just chose not to. And hi, Jan. I was just talking about bingo night. The registration is open now. It's $42 and it includes shipping. And we're doing a kit plus 5 alternative projects that I have for that same stamp set that's in the kit. So it'll be a fun night. Jeanne has come and won big at my bingo nights in the past. So there's my blue pumpkins right there. Isn't that super sweet? Okay, so now what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to pop it up right here over this basic beige banner. But before I do that, I'm going to grab some linen thread here. And I'm going to wrap it around my finger 3 times, right, like that. So it creates this loop like this. And then I'm going to twist. And I want this to go kind of catty corner right here in the corner of that banner, right like that. So in order to get that down really well, I'm going to grab a piece of tear and tape here. And there we go. Pull out those threads a little bit. And then I'm going to add some dimensionals to the back side of this. Jeanne, do you have much of a fall in Oregon? Or is it Washington? I think you're in Washington. I bet you do because it's cooler, way cooler up there, and you have lots of forests, right? So I bet it's beautiful in the fall. All right, so isn't that pretty, you guys? And so simple, really. There we go. And then I have some more of these ribboned dots in white and in pecan pie. We're going to use both of them today, but right now I'm going to grab a big white one, put it right there, another larger white one, and put it down here, and then a small white one is going to go a little bit off the card, like right there. So there's the front of the card. Do you guys love that? So pretty, isn't it? I love the blue pumpkins. All right, and then for the inside of the card, we are going to grab that Scenic ground cover, and I've got my insert, which is 4 by 5 1/4 of basic white. And I'm going to take this Scenic in crumb cake, which is up here. And I'm going to stamp that little ground cover. Thank you. I love it too. Isn't it funny how we can really work hard to do cards that are super impressive, and it's really sometimes the simple ones that we love the most. So here's my little ground cover there on the bottom of my card. And then I'm going to add some pumpkins in blue. Lost Lagoon is the official name. Here we go. Make sure I get that basic beige off of there before I stamp it in Lost Lagoon. And I bet they are, GN. I bet they're beautiful. Oh, that's Melinda saying that. Melinda, you're in West Virginia. So, yeah, I bet you have some beautiful foliage in West Virginia as well. And then I'm going to add my stems. So I don't know who out there are already demonstrators or on a team. If you're not and you would like to start getting a 20% discount, that is the main reason anybody joins a team. And that's the main reason I joined a team back in the day, is because I really wanted to get that 20% off. I was spending a lot of money. Okay, guys. I just had my card in my hand. Oh, I layered it on top of this other one. Sorry. You guys know me. I'm a little scatterbrained sometimes, but that's why you love me, right? It used to bother me how scatterbrained I was, and then somebody said, just be you, and people will be fine with it. So definitely not trying to be anybody I'm not. So there we go. So there's the inside of the card. I love this card too. This is so fun. So this is the Lost Lagoon Scenic Pumpkin Patch card. So if you place an order this week in my online store, you'll get enough product to make 2 of those. If you spend $50, I throw in a package of the embellishments for free. So that's super fun as well. Okay, so second card, that's card number 1. Let me make sure that I have cleaned everything that I've used before I move on to the next card. And the next card, we're really building a bigger scene with this one. And it's pretty fun as well. Okay, so my next card is this one right here. Isn't that fun? And so that's a little more detailed of a pumpkin patch scene, right? And then this is what the inside of that card looks like. So let me pull out all my pieces here. wrong package. That's the last card. Okay, so we are starting with a card base that is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4.25. And then we have some pieces of DSP, and this comes from the Iconic Celebrations DSP. It's also a part of the online exclusives. And so I've cut 3 pieces of this Cajun Craze leaf design. One of them is 4 by 5.25, one is 2 by 5.25, and one is 3/4 by 2.5. Okay, I'll let you see that real quick. You can always come back and stop it at that point if you want those directions. Okay, so I am adhering this piece of DSP right on the top there of my card base. And it's going to go right here. And then I'm going to take the one that is 2 inches by 5.25 inches, and I'm going to adhere it to the bottom on the inside of the card. There we go. Okay. I'm going to put that aside for just a second. I'm next going to start working on my design for the front of the card, and you're going to need 2 pieces of basic white. Both are cut 3.25 by 4.5. Okay, one is going to be for the inside, one is going to be for the outside. So the first thing I did was grab a blending brush that has some green on it. I'm going to pull in my garden green ink pad. And you guys know that when you're blending with a blending brush, you're just going to ink up the brush. And then it's a good idea to start off the edge of your card and start in a circular motion like that. Okay, so we're just going to build some green underneath these pumpkins that I'm going to stamp here. I love blending brushes. Do you guys use them very often? I use them a lot. I just love that they, oh, and you know what? On the inside of my card, I need a little bit of green right here in this corner. So let me grab some more ink. There we go. Okay. Then on the front of my card panel, my front card panel here, I'm also going to blend on some ink in Pool Party. Give it some sky. Okay. I feel like an artist when I use this set. It was super fun to put different scenes together and create the pumpkin patch scenes that I wanted to create for all of you. Okay, so I'm going to grab my tree branches here, and I'm going to stamp my tree branches. These branches have no leaves on them yet, but they will here in just a minute. I'm going to stamp a set of trees right there, and then I'm also going to stamp a set of trees on the inside of my card as well. Right there. Hi, Dana. Thanks for joining. It's okay. We're only on card number 2, and you can always go back and watch card number 1. Thanks for joining me today. Okay, so we have this stamp that is the top of the trees, and I've got crushed curry ink here. And I'm stamping the center tree full strength, and then without re-inking, I'm stamping off again on the tree to the right. I'm going to stamp full strength here, stamp off again for the tree to the right, and then 2 times I'm stamping off the tree to the left. So that gives just a tiny bit of variation in the leaves on the trees, okay? So that was in crushed curry is what I used. And now that I have my inside done here, I can go ahead and adhere that to the inside of my card right here. So let's do that. Always, if you guys are new to me, I always like to bring the outside of the card into the inside. There's a flake of something on my white there. What is that? Looks like a bit of adhesive. I can fix that here in a bit. I have a handy dandy adhesive eraser. This is called a Mono Sand Eraser. I just got it on Amazon, and look, it takes that right off. There we go. So that's the inside of my card. Now let me finish the outside here of my card. So I've got that same set of 3 pumpkins, and we're going to stamp them in pumpkin pie. It makes sense, huh? If there's ever a time to use pumpkin pie, it is for this card. I'm going to stamp some right here in the corner, kind of off the edge of the card, and then I'm going to stamp it again a little bit higher right up here, and then I'm going to add my stems again in early espresso. Nope, I did them in garden green this time. See, that's what I'm saying. It's just so fun to just add all the colors that we want to add. Okay, I have pumpkin pie, I have Cajun. I don't know why I'm not seeing my garden green that I just used at the bottom. Oh, here it is, right here. Okay, so I'm going to add some stems in garden green right here. I could have used early espresso as well. It would have been fine. Sometimes the stems look a little more green and sometimes they look a little more brown, right? Oh, nice, Melinda. I'm glad you caught me live. I like when people are here live as well because I just feel like I'm not alone. Talking like a crazy person out in space there. So I'm taking my early espresso ink and I'm going to put my fence line right. I'm going to ink it up a little bit more. Tap, tap, tap. Now when you're inking your stamps, especially if you just want to tap, you don't want to press really hard into the ink. If you're seeing ink on your stamps, it's because you're pressing too hard into the ink pad. Okay, there we go. There's my fence line. I think that's all the stamping I'm doing on the seam. Okay, I have a stylish shaped banner, and it's the squatty short one. I don't know how to say it any differently than that. And I'm pulling in the hello from the Simply Said stamp right here. Hello. So I'm going to grab that hello stamp. I'm going to stamp on my banner right here. And then I cut it off on this edge just so that I cut off just the banner part on the other side right there. Then I'm going to take some seal. I'm going to put some seal on the side that I cut, okay? And I'm going to grab my linen thread again, and I'm going to wrap it around this edge several times, 2 or 3. I'm going to wrap it, and again, right like that. Cut it off right there. And then I'm going to tie it in a little bow right here on the end of this banner. Hope I didn't cut that off too short, but I think I can do it. I may have cut it off too short. Nope, we did it fine. Now that is a expert that is an expert move there. So really you're better off having a little more length on your linen thread, but that'll work just fine. Okay, and then I had that little tiny piece of DSP right here, and I'm going to attach it right here to the top, just flat. And this DSP came from the Iconic Celebrations paper, right like that. And then I'm going to cut off the little extra that I have right here. And then I'm going to take this hello and just pop it up right over that DSP with some dimensionals. I'm here every Monday morning at noon, Melinda, if you want to pop in and watch me. I try to be very consistent with my Facebook Lives, same time every day. Okay, there we go, you guys. How cute is that? I might have to cut that little piece of string there off, but we can do that in a second. Well, maybe I'll just do it right now. There we go. Now, I have a piece of pumpkin pie that is cut 3.5 by 4 3/4, and I am going to adhere the scene right on top of that banner right there. So I'm going to add some seal to the back side of this. So how many of you have pumpkins on your front porch or have gone to a pumpkin patch yet this year? I don't know if there's any near Midland. There's got to be some somewhere, right? Okay, there we go. And then this is going to get popped up on the front of my card right here with dimensionals. You've been to a pumpkin patch, or you have them on your porch, Melinda? There we go. Is all well with you, Dana? Everything is well with me. We just chug along here. I was on full-time Mimi duty last week, and I'm telling you, all the respect to you moms out there, because it was exhausting. You just forget. I mean, I've raised 2 kids, right? But you just forget about how exhausting it is. Okay, so now the only thing I need to add to this card is some of these pecan pie ribboned embellishments. So I did a couple over here on this side, and then several of them down in this corner right here. I did a large and 2 littles. It is the very best. You're right. I had them for 3 days all by myself. My husband, here you go. Here's the final card. How cute is that? Do you guys love that? I love it. I love it too. So again, you spent $35 or more in my store this week, I'll give you a kit to make 2 each of all the cards I'm doing right now. All right, so let me clean these off. We had a lot of fun, and it warmed my heart that they told their parents that they had a good time. So, and they were in school during the day, but you know, it's a different normal around your house when you've got the kiddos in. And you know who the biggest problem was? I bet you guys can guess, is Rory. She was so hyped up about having the kids at the house. She could not sleep. She was just full of energy. So, all right. And my last card, I'm so excited about this one. Okay, so I'm pulling in the Trucking Along set. What do you guys think of this card? Isn't it cute? Let me put away this stamp set and get it out of the way so that we have room for everything else. So I'm using the Trucking Along and the Scenic Pumpkin on this one. And you guys, let me tell you, I love pickup trucks with pumpkins, pickup trucks with flowers. I've never owned a pickup truck, I don't think anybody in my family has ever owned a pickup truck, but I just love them. And so during the holidays, I decorate a lot with pickup trucks with stuff in them. And Swig, do you guys know those Swig cups that they make? I love them. If I could have 100, I would. But they just came out with a Swig cup that is pickups with pumpkins in the back. I haven't bought it yet, but I think I need it. Don't you think I need it? It's just so hard to justify the money for that, but it's so cute. So here we go. And this opens like a book binder. It's a book binder opening card. So I don't know if you guys have heard about that before or not. But let's put this one together. This is the last of our three. Okay, so we are going to take a piece of Cajun craze here that is 4¼ by 11 and scored in two places at 4½ and 5½. 4¼ by 11 scored at 4½ and 5½. And then I got some more of that iconic Celebrations paper, and there's one here with these little pumpkins on it. So cute. So I'm going to adhere this to the back side. So that Swig cup, you know, once you look at it online, they just keep tormenting you by sending you pictures of it over and over and over again. And I keep trying to be good, but it's so hard. It's so hard. But I haven't done it yet. So I need another Yeti type insulated cup like a hole in my head. I am telling you, my husband would probably shoot me if I brought another one home, but I do love them. So, okay, so I'm taking 2 pieces of linen thread here. I would guess it's about 5½ inches long, and I am tying a knot right in the center of them. I don't know why I'm having trouble tying a knot. It shouldn't be. I think it's because I'm trying to get it right in the center. Here we go. Here we go. Sue, I just announced bingo night again. Sue has been to most of my bingo nights. So there we go. Just tied a knot just to give it a little texture right there. And then I'm going to take my tearing tape. Oh, that might be a good memory for you, right, Jean? I love, there's a, right up the street from us, when I take Rory on walk, there's an old pickup truck in the front of a house, and I just love it. It's so cute, and I want to throw pumpkins in it. He might not appreciate that very much. Okay, so I'm opening up the inside of my card, and right here on this area that has the 2 score lines, I'm attaching one end. Actually, I want to put the knot kind of right in the middle there. And then I'm attaching one set of ends to the inside here. And then this other side, I'm going to do the same. And I almost got it too short right there. There we go. Okay, so there are my linen thread ends on the inside between those 2 score lines. And then this is it on the outside right there. You can see the little knot right there. Just gives some texture to the card, I think. Now I'm going to grab that tearing tape again, and I'm going to run it through here. I'm going to put a piece right there and a piece on the other side, and then it will adhere that book binding part of the card really well. Right there. You pull that up. Always kind of pull up from the center and lift. Instead of trying to pick those ends, I found that using my scissors like that and lifting really help a lot. Okay, and then I'm going to press that down onto itself right there. And there's the start. So now it'll open like this. Okay. All right. So now for the inside and the outside, I should have 2 pieces of this, but it looks like I only have one, so I'll have to cut another. And this is cut 4 by 3 3/4. 4 by 3 3/4. And then I have a piece of garden green that is 4 1/4 by 4. 4 1/4 by 4. Okay. So on this outside piece here, I'm going to kind of do what I did before. I'm going to grab my scrap paper here. But this time on the bottom, I am blending my basic beige. I don't know how I do that all the time. I just lose my ink pads when they're right here in front. They're all stacked up right there. Basic beige. Sheesh. Okay. Well, for this one, maybe we'll use crumb cake instead, because I can't imagine where my basic beige went that was right here beside me. But it's okay. Crumb cake will work just fine. I'm going to do the bottom edge here. I used crumb cake on my first card. Seriously, folks. How does that happen? I don't know. Okay, so we just want some color on the ground here. That's all we're doing, okay? There we go. And then I'm going to grab my pool party. And I'm going to add some sky to the top. Bingo night is November 16th. It's a Saturday, Sue. And it starts at 6 o'clock Central Time. So I think that'll be 7 o'clock your time. And we have a kit, the Christmas Wishes kit, plus 5 alternate projects coming your way this time. So there we go. We got a little ground and we have some pool party up at the top. And I'm going to grab my early espresso, and I'm going to use this in 2 places. I'm going to use it for my trees and for my fence line. So here we go. I'm going to ink it up in early espresso. I'm going to start right here, right on the edge. There we go. And then I'm going to keep the fence going until it goes off the other side here, right like that. I have my trees that I'm going to stamp right here and a little bit higher right there. And that's all I need of the early espresso. So I'm going to put this away. Then I'm going to pull out my pumpkin pie. And I have a different row of pumpkins now. I have this row of pumpkins that is a little smaller, and it's like 5 pumpkins. And I'm just going to stamp them right through the fence here. It's going to make them look like they're kind of peeking through the other side. There we go, right like that. And then I'm going to add my stems in garden green. And again, they've created these stems so that they perfectly line up with the pumpkins, which is kind of cool. Actually, I think I'm going to put this on a different block here, so I can see through it a little bit better. This one is a block that a friend of mine gave me as a gift for on stage. So that was fun. And sometimes I love it, but sometimes it's hard to see through it, especially when you need to really get things exact. So I'm putting my stems on here in garden green. There we go. Now, what do we have left? We have the tops of our trees and then our truck. so our tree tops this time are going to be in Cajun Craze. I am so befuddled about where my basic beige ink pad just went that I just used. I don't know. It's crazy. Maybe Rory snatched it. I blame everything on her. So, Cajun Craze, I am doing the tops of these trees, stamping some of them full strength, some of them partial strength. There we go. And the next thing I need Cajun Craze for is my words, which I'm pulling out of my Trucking Along set here. And I'm using Every Day is a Fresh Start. And I'm stamping it in Cajun Craze as well, right up here in the upper left corner. Every day is a fresh start. All right, so all we need to do now is add our truck to the bottom. So I have a scratch sheet of paper here. And on this scratch sheet of paper, I am going to stamp. I'm going to put some things away so I have a little more block room here. Put my tree away. Don't need that anymore. And I don't need my fence line. Don't need my tree tops. And I don't need my trio of pumpkins here. So that'll give me some more room, some more blocks to use for my truck. So I'm going to pull out the outline image of the truck, which I'm going to stamp in black, the inside image of the truck, which we're going to stamp in green, and my little wheels of the truck. There we go. Go round and round, right? Okay. There we go. All right, so the outline of the truck, I'm going to stamp in Memento Black ink, which I have right here in front of me. So I'm going to stamp the outline of my truck, stamp it down here. Okay. And then I've got the inside of my truck that I'm going to do in garden green. Hi, Becky. I think you are going to love these cards, Becky. They are fun. Becky has gotten several of my online card classes to go, and I think has enjoyed getting them. Okay, so you just need, this is the full color of your truck, and you just need to line it up. And I'd say if my head's in the way, it's because it needs to be, right? Just going to line up it with all my edges. And I stamped it off once because look, perfection! I did not want to have it too dark. Look how dark that is right there. I wanted it stamped off a little bit. Hi, Jen! I'm glad you're here. That always brings joy to my heart. Okay, and so then I'm going to use my punch of my pickup, and I'm going to, let's do this. Let's stamp our wheels on the truck next that go round and round, right? So, and this is a little tricky to line up as well, but we're going to do it the best we can. And I've stamped that in basic gray. Okay, there we go. Now I can punch out my pickup truck here. So cute. And then all I need to do, here, let me cut this edge off right here, is add the pumpkins in the back. So Jen, I was telling them there's a swig cup out there I don't know if you guys get those swig cup advertisements. I think they send them to me because they know how obsessed I am, right? I am their algorithm for sure. And there's one with pickup trucks with pumpkins that I'm in love with. So they keep sending me because they're like secretly know Judy's going to finally cave in one of these days and get those that cup with the pumpkins on it. I like swig too. I think it's fun. Okay, so now I'm taking the little pumpkins, the little row of pumpkins, and I'm stamping it. And then I'm going to add, I can't tell which way these go. Maybe they go that way. I'm going to add the stems in garden green on top. Here we go. Are you talking about the Scenic Pumpkins or the Trucking Along? Trucking Along, I used a ton last year. It came out about a year ago. And then I kind of forgot about it until I saw that swig cup. And then I'm like, oh, I'm going to have to do a card with the pickup and some pumpkins, right? Okay, so now I'm going to grab some of my paper snips. And I'm going to cut these out. I'm going to fussy cut around these in two parts, okay? So I'm going to cut these two that are kind of off here by themselves apart from the others. And I'm going to tell you guys something that's going to help you on this, is that you're going to get to the bottom here. Let me show you. You're going to get to the bottom and you're going to cut around the right and left sides, kind of like that. But you want to leave a little tab here because of how we want to put it in the pickup truck, okay? So I'm just leaving a little tab at the bottom there, and that's going to help me fit these pumpkins into my pickup truck a little easier. Okay, so again, I'm going around the bottom, but I'm leaving a little bit of a tab there, going around this side. And then I'm really fussy cutting the top around those stems and things. Okay. Okay, so there again, left a little bit at the bottom. That little bit at the bottom is going to help me have something to adhere to the inside of this truck right here. If you cut them all the way around, it would be hard to put the pumpkins popping out of the truck, okay? So, hope that's a good tip for you. So, right here on this top edge of the bed of my truck, I'm going to take some seal and add it right there. And then this is going to attach right like that to the inside. And then I'm going to do a little bit more right there. And then I'm going to grab these pumpkins and attach it. See that little lip there gives me something to attach easily. So there's my pickup truck. Isn't he cute? Okay, so he's going to get popped up right here with some dimensionals. Aw, thanks, Becky. I'm glad you love them. I work really hard to make sure I'm not missing pieces and that everything is packaged so it gets to you in good condition and you can just watch the video and enjoy crafting, right? So there's my pickup. How cute is that? Next, I'm going to adhere this onto this piece of garden green that's 4¼ by 4. 4¼ by 4, so it's going to go right on it, right like that. And then I'm actually going to use dimensionals on this. to put it on my card front right here. Okay, so here's some dimensionals. I know, Jen. I think this is going to inspire me to buy that sweet cup. I think I have, how many of you vote that I really should buy that sweet cup that I want so bad? I really should, right? So cute. Okay, there we go. Maybe next week I'll show you that I have it in my hand. There we go. I'm going to put another dot kind of up here in this corner. So cute. Now let's do the inside real quick. And I should have had one more panel. Let me grab a piece of white. Purposely put some extra pieces of white over here in case I needed them. And that was cut 3 3/4 by 4. So it's already by 4 here. I think I'm just going to cut it 3 3/4. See, I know in my head that I need to have extras just in case I forget. Okay, so I'm going to grab my blending brush again here. I'm going to put my ground in the corner here. And there's some of these things you don't have to do. I mean, you don't have to. I just think, doesn't it just add a lot to the scenic look of the card to have a little color in the corner like that? And then grab my pumpkin over here again. And I'm going with these pumpkins that I used on my fence line. Putting them right here in the corner. And then adding my green toppers, and we will have this card in this online card class to go finished up. If you don't have that pickup truck yet, it is great, isn't it? Isn't it, Dana? I know. I really am shocked that I haven't. That is not the right set of stems. Here, let me find it. Here we go. It was one of the ones I put away. I know. And they've got some really cute Christmas ones as well. Halloween is just one day, so I don't get the Halloween ones, although they were some really cute Halloween ones. But gosh, I feel like the pickup truck with the pumpkins I can use all fall, right? It's a fall mug. It's a 3-month mug. Oh, look what I just did. I got a little ink right there. Where is that adhesive eraser that I was just using? Here we go. So it's really good also about getting ink off in places you don't want it. There we go. It's better. So now that I've said sweet cup with pumpkins and pickups, I'm probably going to see it 100 times today on my newsfeed. Because you know they are listening to us out there, right? Here we go. So do you guys love this one? Oh, I love this card too. Okay, so I'm going to put all my cards out here. Maybe you guys can vote on your favorite. Gee, so many stamps here and inks. I've just got them all over the place. So I'm going to lay them all out for us. There's card number 3. Here is card number 2. And here is card number 1. I love the blue one too. Ah, they're so cute. Hi, Sherry. Thanks for joining us. Hi, Jeanne. You guys are so sweet. Thanks for joining me. So here's the card. You would get a kit to make all 6 of these cards in the mail with any order of $35 or more in my online store. And if you spend more than 50, I throw in a package of the embellishments as well. So I hope you love that. Think about joining me for bingo on November 16th. It's always super fun. We're going to have a fun time creating the 5 alternative cards to the kit that you'll get. So you get the kit, you get everything for the 5 alternate cards, you get 2 bingo cards. You can add on more if you want. And I would love to have you via Zoom or in person. I have a lot of Zoomers that come, so don't be thinking, oh, if I have to Zoom, I'll be the only one on Zoom. There's a lot of Zoomers. So think about joining me. I'll put the link to that up in the description. And as always, I'm so honored to have you here with me over your lunch hour. God bless everybody, and we'll see you next Monday for our craft along event, online card class to go. So thanks. We'll see you soon.